Good evening today is Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. Update for Thursday the 15th. All right, let's go. We know setups again tonight. Obviously, the market hasn't pulled back just yet. There are a few that are beginning to catch my eye, and I'll go through those in just 1 second. TFPM on your stops just in case. It's come back in a little bit further, as you likely know by now. Again, on your stops. I am seeing some golds begin to set up. I don't see any reason to go after them just yet. I'm also seeing some other ones fail, so it's kind of becoming mixed within the golds. This BBNX initially caught my eye. On further analysis, I see that it's just kind of one big bar up, and most of that's already been retraced, but it does look like it's trying to bottom out, so we'll keep an eye on it and see if anything comes from it. This GRWG, another one of these pot stocks, or a pot stock that we were talking about a little bit, tried to bottom out. It does have overhead supply along the way, so that's something to consider there. Let's take a look at TFPM. That's all we have left in the portfolio for now. Selling off fairly hard, but off its worst levels. So if the correction is complete, obviously we're in good shape. Otherwise, again, on your stop. Let's take a look at the overall market and drill down a little bit. First of all, let's start with the P's. S&P 500 didn't set the world on fire, but did manage it in a little bit higher inside day. Again, still concerned about this overhead supply. One of you guys was pointing out that, yeah, we've gone through it like butter a few times historically, but sometimes you don't, like going back to 2000, 2008, and those years like that. So it's something to definitely pay attention to, and I hope we blast right through it. That means that the supply is met with demand. So there's nothing magical about it, but you do have to take these things into consideration, and that's what technical analysis is all about. Not a perfect science, but certain things that do kind of help you find your way. Anyway, NASDAQ doing pretty darn good, though. Look at that, up 0.75%, he tried to say. Plowing into it, yeah, that overhead supply, so I can't argue with you on that. But very dangerous environment to buy into. VIX, as I would say, quite a bit, does remain stretched. Let's take a look at that. Again, you don't want to position trade here, but it is something that to keep in mind, that the market is likely to correct when that happens. You can see we have lost a little bit of steam in the underlying market basis, the VIX. But anyway, about 17% or so away from the moving average on the downside. Let's get back to the market. Let's take a look at a Rusty 2000. Getting whacked a little. That's a bit of a bummer. I sure would like to see again, as I've been saying, the Rusty to lead us out of this mess, but that's not happening yet. So you see, once again, you've got a lot of overhead supply here, and that's just above the 200. And that makes sense. Those are areas that normally provide resistance. Take a look at the EFA shares. Outside day down, not the end of the world, but this is another one of those V-shaped recovery type of situations where you're very overbought, and it's very hard for a market like that to sustain the movement. You know what you know, one day at a time. Some of you heard that before. Gold, the commodity, continue to slide. Whether or not this is a correction or start of something bigger, we don't know just yet. That's what trend following is all about. You wait to see what develops. But gold stocks looking a little bit uglier. And this is why I'm not too excited about going after whatever. I've already forgotten about it. Whatever one is on the Landry list tonight. Let's take a look at some other areas. Transports, kind of Flatsville inside day. There, lots of resistance to overcome. Major drugs looking pretty ugly, turning back down with vigor. Continue to slide with vigor, I should say. Look at that, down over 2.33%. Looks like they want to come down here and challenge the recent lows. Biotech not doing so hot either. Selling off fairly hard, down 2% and change. Bases the IBB. It too wants to challenge its recent lows. Speaking of challenging recent lows, take a look at bonds. That's a bit of a bummer. We're way down here toward these longer term lows. I hate to use the word hope, but hopefully they will hold and will bottom out eventually. And bonds up, rates down, that would be a good thing. Dollar's a little weak. Dollar gained a little strength is what I meant to say in here after a bit of an opening gap reversal. It has been working its way up higher as of late. We'll have to see how that shakes out. And we have, again, you guys said overhead supply to deal with there, but the euro and other markets have been a little weak as of late. Health services, look at that, continue to implode it here. Begging out new lows with a little bit of vigor. So it is still a little mixed here and there. Overall, though, things still look pretty good as far as improving are concerned. Take a look at semis, for instance. They're pushing through this overhead supply like butter, but we're not through it yet. So let's not start kissing each other just yet in a lot of these markets. It's okay to give up that first little push and then look to position. It's a lot safer to trade that way. And as you know, longer term, making sure you dot your I's and cross your T's and try to trade the best of the best markets. That's the most important thing to do. Yeah, you're going to have some opportunity costs here and there when things just kind of go straight up, but that just comes with the territory. Anyway, hopefully all that made sense. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email, dave@davelandry.com, or bring it up at Facebook. We could talk about it there. Everybody have a great night. We'll talk tomorrow. Thank you so much.